Hey everyone, I'm Jelsy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the One Calls a Heart Season 7 finale, which was so great. I have to talk about it. So sit back, relax, and let's dive right in. One of the first things that we get to know in this episode is that Elizabeth gets a book deal from a publisher in New York. Whoa. Since season 1, we've seen how much Elizabeth enjoys writing, and throughout the seasons, she continues to develop her craft, and she decides that she wants to be a writer as well. It's one of her dreams. And if you guys remember, Jack, self-published her book, and he really believed in that talent that she had. And now, in this season, Lucas helps her to continue to develop her craft, and now he's helped her accomplish what she's always dreamed of, and now she's getting paid in advance, and this is huge for Elizabeth's character. She is about to be a published author. Lee and Susanna, I want to talk about this for a second. So in the previous episode, we see that Lee finds his sister, he calls her, but we notice that she's not very open to the idea of reconnecting. In the finale, she arrives in Hope Valley, but she still has this wall that's dividing them. And things seem to get worse when Lee visits her at the hotel. He's really trying. And things start to come out, things that were never discussed. Then Rosemary, I love Lee and Rosemary so much. I think I say this in every video, right?
Yep.
Rosemary goes up to Susanna and she says, look, your brother wants to reconnect with you. He almost lost his life. He really wants to have a relationship with you. She basically says that everything that happened in the past is in the past. Now, just embrace your brother. We see that those walls that were there at the beginning start to fall down, and it was a beautiful thing to see. And it just made me so happy that by the end of the episode, they really connected. Oh, and Lee's face when Susanna told him that she had a son named Patrick. Another thing that happens in this episode is that Henry almost passes out in the cafe. And he's so stressed, he's so worried about the current situation of his company. I feel really bad for him because we see how important this company is to him, and he mentioned in a previous episode that the company, Gowan Petroleum, is the first thing that he's ever been proud of. Gowan has his pride and he's a bit stubborn, so he really doesn't want anybody else to take over. But by the end, with the help of Elizabeth and Lucas's counsel, he realizes that if he closes, it will affect so many other people in town. So basically, at the end of this episode, Lucas is the owner of Gowan Petroleum. I'm really curious to see how that is going to play out. Now, let's move on to Lucas and Elizabeth. I have to talk about this scene. So Lucas invites Elizabeth to the library to celebrate her having a book deal. It was a very romantic setting.
See, this place is magical.
And it's funny because he mentions, this is not a date. We're just two friends celebrating your publishing deal.
Oh, you're funny.
And clearly, it's a date. So he starts talking about the things that he would do if it were a date. I mean, this scene was fire. I was like, wow, what? It was Eva Bourne tweeted, it was spicy. Shout out to Eva Bourne. He's saying, he's putting himself out there hey, I like you. This is for you. Now, let's move on to Fiona. In the previous episode, we know that she's leaving Hope Valley, her job there has finished, and we see that she's putting on a brave face, but she really is so sad to think that she's leaving. Her boss just said, look, you're not important, you're insignificant in this. And I love what Carson says to her. I love this quote. He says, you are neither small nor dispensable. Boom. See, these are some of the things that I mean when I say that you can find these moments in every episode where you hear a quote or you see a scene playing out and you're like, wow, like I relate to this, I love this, this speaks to me. And I love that quote because it's a reminder for all of us. We are all important and essential here. The good thing is she's staying in Hope Valley. She doesn't have a job, but I'm pretty sure that she'll find the right job. Now, last but not least, I have to talk about that final scene of the episode. But first, let's go back. Nathan asks Elizabeth to dinner. Yes, she's left in a bit of a shock, but he says, don't worry about it. You just answer me when you can, when I get back from the trip. Okay, and also an important thing, there was this shady lady in town. I was like, I bet she knows the prisoner. Turns out she's the prisoner's sister, and she was gonna help him escape. Okay, so two other Mounties, Bill and Nathan, are escorting the prisoner from Hope Valley to Buxton, and when they're on their way, the shady lady comes out of the trees with a gun. Nathan tries to reason with her, so does Bill. A shot is fired, and then commercial break, and we're like, what?
5 hours later.
It's like longest commercial break ever, right? Bill comes quickly into town. Elizabeth hears that somebody has been shot, and at the side, we hear somebody say, I think it's Nathan. And I'm like, what? Elizabeth is clearly horrified. She runs where the injured person is, and Carson steps out and says, we lost him. And we see the boots and red. So it's a Mountie. I have to say, for a second there, I was like,
wait, what? Like, no, this can't be. Wait.
And then behind her, somebody's coming towards them. It's all blurred out. I loved that reveal. And it was actually Nathan. So the person who was injured and who lost his life was the other Mountie. So Elizabeth sees that it's him and she runs towards him, and Lucas just comes out of the saloon, so he's seeing everything. There's so much depth in that scene, like in this small moment where, you know, Nathan has just gone through like this really intense moment, so we know that he's like super like tired and he is devastated. He also must have been like super stressed, scared for his life. All of those things are weighing on him. So we see her, you know, with that relief, but also she was comforted by him too. So that scene was epic too. That was the finale. I mean, it was so great. After the episode, we know, like, they give us the news that there's gonna be a season 8. It's all very exciting.
Very, very exciting.
I can't wait to see what happens and what other storylines come into the show. So I'm just so grateful to this hardworking cast and crew and everybody involved in making this show, because it's such a light in the times that we're living today, especially like right now. So I'm just so grateful that this show is on television right now and on streaming and available for so many people to enjoy this and to receive this message. And also a huge shout out to all you Hardies for watching and live tweeting, and it's such a great community. I just love to be a part of it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you have a specific favorite moment from the season finale of One Calls a Heart. See you on my next video. God bless, bye.